If you've driven down Route 47 in Huntley recently, you've probably noticed something starting to change. And like most developments, the question people ask is simple: what's being built there?
But the more important question isn't what's being built, it's what this decision says about where Huntley is going.
Right now in Huntley, there's a proposed development along Route 47 that would bring around 100 duplex units to a 48-acre site near Talamore.
And what makes this interesting is that this land wasn't originally intended for housing. For years, really decades, it was held for retail or commercial development.
Something like a shopping center, restaurants, or a more traditional retail corridor along Route 47.
But instead, the village is now considering rezoning that land for residential use, specifically duplex-style housing in that $350,000 to $425,000 range.
So on the surface, this looks like a housing project, but underneath that, it's actually signaling something much bigger about how Huntley is evolving.
What this really tells us is that Huntley is shifting from what we would call an aspirational growth model to something much more practical.
For years, towns like Huntley held land like this waiting for a major retail anchor to come in. But in today's environment, that kind of large-scale retail is much less predictable.
So instead of waiting another 10 or 20 years for something that may or may not happen, the village is choosing something more certain.
A residential tax base, more rooftops, and a way to keep that land productive instead of just sitting vacant.
And that's a meaningful shift, because it tells us Huntley isn't just planning for the future anymore. It's actively defining what it is right now.
So what does this mean if you already own a home in Huntley, especially near Talamore or along that Route 47 corridor?
First, it's going to change the feel of that area. What might have once been expected to become a retail destination is now likely to become a residential extension of the community.
That brings more neighbors, more activity, and over time, potentially more of the smaller service-based businesses people actually use day to day.
But there are trade-offs. If your home backs to open space today, that perception may change.
And for some homeowners, that's a meaningful shift, not just in value, but in how the home feels.
So this isn't simply good or bad, it's a transition. And understanding that transition is what helps homeowners make better long-term decisions.
For buyers, this type of development is actually solving a very specific problem in Huntley right now.
There's a gap between higher priced new construction and older resale homes that need significant update.
And this kind of duplex product fills that gap.
It appeals to buyers looking for lower maintenance, downsizers who aren't ready for a 55 and over community, and even younger buyers who want something newer without stretching too far on price.
And because it's new construction, there's also a level of predictability that buyers really value in today's market.
Every change like this comes with trade-offs.
What Huntley gains is stability, more predictable growth, a stronger tax base, and fewer long-term vacancies along a major corridor.
What's potentially lost is the original vision for Route 47. Once residential is built, that large-scale retail opportunity doesn't really come back.
And there's also a broader conversation around density, how Huntley grows while still maintaining the feel that drew people here in the first place. If this trend continues, Huntley is going to feel different over time.
Route 47 may evolve from a high-speed commercial corridor into something more connected, a residential spine with more activity and access.
The community may feel a bit more active, a bit more built in, and in some areas, a bit more dense than it has in the past.
And the buyer mix may shift as well, bringing in more people looking for flexibility, convenience, and proximity to both housing and employment.
And over time, value will be driven less by just lot size and more by location, connectivity, and how well a home fits what today's buyers are actually looking for.
So when you see something like this happening in Huntley, it's not just about what's being built.
It's a signal about how the village is thinking, how it's planning, and where it's heading next.
And understanding those signals is what helps you make better decisions, whether you're already here or thinking about making a move.
And if you're thinking about how changes like this could affect your home specifically,
the next step is understanding how your home would be positioned in today's market.
we walk through that in a later video.